What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting a brand new show. There's not many of these to start, but this is Moriarty the Patriot. So yeah, we're still learning a couple of new shows here. We've got this one. We've got another new show today as well, in the form of, let me find my notes, My Setsu, which will be starting later today. And then we have a new show tomorrow as well, in the form of Dropout Idol. And then a new show on Wednesday, Magatsu Wahrheit Zurst. And then that will be the entire fall season started. And we can start saying, okay, which ones am I going to be sticking with, which ones am I not? I've dropped a couple, but we're kind of getting there. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. I'm a British guy who reacts to seasonal anime, and this is another new show that we are starting. So what I like to do is load up the analyst page for the show, look over the synopsis, the tags, the studio, just to get a basic feeling of the show before we head into it. There's also something interesting about this show that I'll mention in a second here as well. But if you don't want to see any of this, and you just want to jump straight to the action, timestamp in the description is a little timestamp so you can go straight to it. So, let's load this up. Moriarty the Patriot. In the late 19th century, the British Empire nobility reigns while its working class suffers at their hands. Very true. Some might say that we're still in that period, but whatever. Sympathetic to their plight, William James Moriarty wants to topple it all. Frustrated by the systemic inequality, Moriarty strategizes to fix the entire nation. That's ambitious. Not even consulting detective Sherlock Holmes can stand in his way. It's time for crime to revolutionize the world. So he's kind of an anti-hero. That's what I'm getting from this. He's kind of like an anti-hero type character because, as we know, Moriarty from the original stories is the enemy. Well, enemy. He is Sherlock's greatest rival, almost. Like, it's hard to quantify. It depends on which, because there's been so many adaptations of Sherlock over the years since the originals. I've never read the actual original novels. I've seen the BBC Sherlock, 90-minute episodic series with Benedict Cumberbatch portraying it, which I think has been the best portrayal of Sherlock, in my opinion. Although the wait between series was agonizing. And Moriarty is, of course, the bad guy in that. Debatable morality and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to follow his perspective on this, because normally if you have a Sherlock-based story, you follow Sherlock, right? But following Moriarty and his journey is going to be quite interesting. So we have Production IG producing this, who we are watching another show this season, Noblesse. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Noblesse, because that's how they say it in the show, but apparently it's just Noblesse, because it's like Noblesse Oblige, it's like that's a thing. But other than that, have I watched any more recent stuff? I can't remember if I have or not. There was something recently I watched. This is a show I'm meant to be checking out at some point, because it's meant to be quite decent. Magus Bride was the most recent thing I watched, okay. And then there's probably some earlier shows as well that I've watched. I've probably gone over it in the Noblesse reaction video. But yeah, mystery, psychological, as expected. Crime, detective, yeah, male cast. Makes sense for a show of this type. And as you may see here already, there is a sequel planned. Now, that's not technically a sequel. This is a split core show, as far as I understand it. So if we look here, it's the second core of Moriarty. So this is beginning in April 2021. So it's basically a split core like ReZero is currently. ReZero was on for summer, takes a break this fall, and then is returning in winter. This one is going to do something similar. We're going to have it this time. It's going to take a break over the course of winter, and then we'll be having it back for spring 2021. So, whilst it is only 12 episodes right now, we know there is definitely more of this coming. So, hopefully this is good, because then it means I have a guaranteed show that I want to watch in spring as well. And so far, reviews are doing pretty alright, actually, for it, and it's got some decent following already, so I'm optimistic, and hey, I like the Sherlock stories. This should be quite fun. I should be very much into this. And it's set in Britain. So, yay. We'll see how stereotypical Britain they are versus realistic Britain, but also, this is late 19th century, so late 1800s. Yeah, some things would be slightly different back then, especially in terms of attitudes and stuff, but we'll see. We're going to load up episode 1 here. We're watching this show on Funimation, of course, because that's who's licensed here this season. Funimation has killed it this season, let's be real. Crunchyroll has, 3 decent shows this season, for the most part, and Funimation has all the big names, basically. It's honestly quite embarrassing for Crunchyroll. Yeah, it really is. But yeah, Moriarty the Patriot, episode 1's called The Earl's Crime. So I guess this is going to be establishing something with the Earl, which would be interesting. Which Earl, I don't know, because there's a lot of Earls in Britain. I can assume it's something in London. Who is the Earl of London? Is there an Earl of London? That's a good question. Or is it... There's the Earl of Lonsdale. Although it was the only... Yeah, it was around this time period. No, it wasn't. No, it was late 18th century. Okay. So it's not the Earl of Lonsdale. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, what we do here are time-based reactions. Bottom left of the screen, you're going to see the timer for the episode. I'll count you down, 3, 2, 1, play. And then I'll play, you start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. We have, I believe, the Bandai visual logo to start with, and then the Funimation logo. So it's a new logo to start on this channel. We haven't seen Bandai show up before. I'll call them out as they go past, so it helps you sync up. You can also use screen flash to see when scenes are transitioning, because there's no video or audio from the original going to be featured on this one because of YouTube's copyright law, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, maybe that can change in the future. The legality of doing Patreon-based stuff where you do see it picture-in-picture is very questionable, but at the same time, no one's really gone against it, so maybe that's something in the future. If you guys would be interested in having a Patreon where picture-in-picture versions could be accessed for a low monthly fee, let me know. I'll pose that one to the Discord as well. So, with all that said, let us start Moriarty, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. That's Bandai Visual. And Funimation. New York, 1911. Okay, 20th century. I thought you said this was... never mind. Who the hell are you? Hell? Oh, is he reading? Is he gonna be Sherlock? Sherlock Holmes, the final problem. Okay. Professor Moriarty, Lord of Crime. Okay, is this the OP? I'm digging this. I like this OP a lot. Right, so I'm guessing Holmes and Watson. Why are there no hands on the clock tower? Found that a bit odd. That was a good OP. Moriarty the Patriot. That was a nice OP. Alright, here we are. Very foggy red London. This is very creepy. This is very creepy. Well, obviously, whatever it wasn't important. He must have stolen something. Or stumbled into something. There's gonna be something behind him when he looks back, isn't there? You can already see, saw that coming. This is very creepy, though. This is not how I expected the show to start. Almost feels supernatural creepy. The hell is going on? Huh? Oh. What is going on? I did click on the right show, right? The Earl's Crime. I'm guessing that might have been the Earl then. Maybe. Who knows? Is this the Moriarty home? 7th victim. Something slasher, I think that said. That's pretty rough. I mean, after the tale of Jack the Ripper, I don't think that should be too surprising. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Chavvy slasher. Okay, chavvy, yeah. Is there a pattern? All well off? I like this analytical style. Horsekeeper, okay. Looks decent. I'm not beans and bacon. Right. Right, yes. Sure, why would he ever do that himself? So is there any other occupations? Very common to work as an apprentice under your father. What other occupations are targets then? But now it's getting... Yeah. Interesting. That's a good question. Potentially just witnessed it and was silenced because they witnessed what happened. Tailoring, okay. Shukroya Moi. Oh, there's probably a meaning there. Bit of blood on that button. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah. Albert? Hmm. Oh, huh? Gotta keep the business going, though. That, too, is a distraction. Hmm. 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 Who's it gonna be? Albert? Oh no, it's him. Okay. I guess that's the Moriarty family crest then. Hmm. Right. Far from it. Yep. Cass? That name means something. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Some flowers left. What businesses are nearby then? Any? Ah. That seems likely. Yeah, seems very likely. Clubhouse. Okay. Aha. Yeah. So Albert is the true... Okay, if I understand this correctly, he's the true brother, these are the two adopted. As far as I'm aware of how this works. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why does he feel the need to investigate this, though? Hmm. Hmm. God, back in the days when you could smoke indoors. I like the smoky effect they have on the top of the shot. I like that smoky effect. Argleton, okay. Okay. So it must have been on a day when the Earl wasn't available. More than likely. Hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. Connection to the... Okay. Hmm. And they all link to all the places that have been... Hmm. We are implying it's him. Mm-hmm. Double meanings. Double meanings. Hmm? Yeah, they are. I'm sure you did. Seems to have him, though. Now what do we do with that information, though? Moriarty is not Sherlock. He would not just solve the crime and turn him in. That's not how he works. He's almost certainly baiting him into doing something here. Hmm. Yep. Doing the dirty work for the Earl. Mm-hmm. He knows. I like this music. Whoa. Nice. At Eden as well, really? Oh no, Albert's going to Eden, okay. Mm-hmm, okay. That's just an excuse to get the meeting, though. He's not just ordering a soup. Smoke and fog, yep. They really have a sinister and creepy look going on with a lot of this. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hmm. Oh ho. Yep. Who means to get revenge on him for what he did to your son? Even if it's a crime, he'd do it, right? Crime consultant, eh? Okay, I like this a lot. Okay, I like this a lot. Chimes of Big Ben. Gonna need more than that, I think, to clean up, but... Yep. And we'll just leave that there. I'm gonna guess this is the ED song? Very techno, but sure. But he's back to his normal life. He looks much better now. And there's a little button as well. I mean, I like the ED song. Seems a little odd to have that techno, more electronic sounds, especially playing over the background of the actual anime itself. Like, as its own separate ED song that it's going to eventually have with its own animation, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it did seem a little out of place playing over it whilst he was, I'm struggling to think, because I'm bobbing to the song in my head. Whilst he was having the shot of, like, his son and the little button being framed and stuff like that, like, yeah. Alright, we still got an after credit scene, though. Good morning. Interesting. Perfect crime. Next time on, looks like we're getting backstory on William here. A bloody fork. Scarlet Eyes Act 1. Okay. Well then. I'm in. I'm enjoying this. This is... I like this. I like that, I like that we didn't try and force too much in. We've established who he is. We've established that he is morally grey. Like, at the end of the day, we did that for Eden. We did it for him, Mr. Eden, so that he could get his revenge and justice of a sort can be served. Whilst it is definitely a crime, and not the way that should be done with things, it ultimately brought him closure, improved his life. We got rid of one of the more detestable people of the city out. All in all, it was for the greater good. It's just required a crime to get there. Answer a crime with a crime. Not how you're meant to do, but it gets the job done. Now, the question I have now, because he said it was the perfect crime because an incident wasn't even recognised. No one knows about those two being murdered or anything like this. So, yeah. So the world is none the wiser. But we haven't introduced Sherlock into this. Or Watson or any of that lot. We haven't introduced that side of the story yet. We're just focusing currently on Moriarty. Because, well, that is to be expected. This trio is the main focus of the show, right? I'm curious now is if Sherlock is going to stumble upon that and start to cause issues with that, or if it's going to take another case further on before Sherlock starts to become relevant into the story. I'm curious to see how they want to pace that. Because right now, he's gone away with a perfect crime, and everything seems to be going just fine. I also wonder how episodic this is going to be. Because it's not listed as an episodic show. And this was called, what, Act 1, right? So, Scarlet Eyes Act 1. So it looks like we're getting a bit more backstory on his childhood. I do know that him and that William and, what was the name of the other one? Lewis? Is it Lewis or Louis? I think it's Lewis. I'm going to call him Lewis, because that's more of a British name than Louis. But yeah, William and Lewis are adopted into the Moriarty family. Albert is the true-blooded Moriarty, and therefore the elder. And yeah, then William is the middle, and then Lewis is the younger brother, and the youngest of the trio. As far as I understand it. So I guess we're going to get more backstory on how his circumstances led him to become into the Moriarty family and things like that. Yeah, he is very anti-hero. He is very anti-hero. Like, he's doing it for the greater good, but he doesn't care if he has to break the morals and laws of society in order to achieve it. Now, the question is, how ambitious is he going to get? Because right now, he's very, well, relatively subdued. This was just doing it for this one incident. This isn't on a more, like, the synopsis implies that he wants to fix the entire nation and all that, right? But right now, we're starting small. I wonder if there's going to be a particular incident that ultimately makes him want to go more and more ambitious. Maybe it will take the introduction of Sherlock, because actually in all of that first episode, they didn't mention or reference Sherlock once, did they? Unless they mentioned it in like a, and I feel it was like mentioned on one of the newspaper articles, because there was a newspaper article that there was probably some stuff to be read on there. But I don't think any of the, I don't think there was any reference to Sherlock, aside from obviously the front page of Sherlock Holmes and how this is a story of Moriarty and stuff like that. I think that was about the only reference there was. Now, I wanted to see if I can find the family crest again, just so I could translate it a bit. Because there is a Latin phrase, I think, there. I kind of want to just see if it has any real meaning behind it. First I've got to find it, though. Je crois en moi. Je crois en moi. I believe in myself or I believe in me. It's French, not Latin. Okay. Yeah, so it's French, not Latin. I believe in myself. Again, Moriarty is a French family, right? Moriarty. I don't know. I assume there is some French roots to the name. But I don't know what it is. But yeah, I believe in myself. That's a very good like thing to have on the family crest of the Moriarty family. That makes a lot of sense. I believe in myself. That fits quite well, I think, with what we've learned of them so far. Nice. Okay. But yeah, other than that, this was a very good episode. It looked good. I liked the deduction going into it. I thought implying the Earl would be too easy. I didn't even think about maybe it was the Earl that was going to be... I mean, it's called the Earl's crime, right? So the Earl was obviously the bad guy, but like I didn't think of it. I was like, okay, well, is it someone that was using this place that wasn't the Earl? Because I didn't immediately suspect the Earl for some reason. But as soon as he started saying like, oh, you got your watch from here, and you got your hat from here, I was like, oh yeah, he's absolutely implying it's him, and he's looking for the tells. But yeah, next time we have Act 1 of this, and yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of backstory on his younger years as well. But the Scarlet Eyes Act 1. So Act 1, I assume they're implying that this is a multi-part episode. So it'll be like, the next episode after this will be the Scarlet Eyes Act 2, and so on and so forth, depending on how it goes. That's how I assume they're going to do it. And that would imply that these stories aren't just going to consume just one episode and be done. They will span multiple episodes for certain stories. It's like a lot of shows that will do this, like It Invaded, for example. They had an episode called Jigsaw, and then they did Jigsaw 2 straight after to have 2 episodes focused on one mini plot, as it were, inside the story. So yeah, backstory next time, and I'm very much into this. Like, I knew I would probably like this because it is based around the whole Sherlock novel series and all that, so I knew I would kind of be able to jump into this and feel kind of at home in it. Like I said, I've not read the original novels. I'm not super familiar with every single character, but I know the basics to get along with, and depending on how they want to interpret it, like especially this interpretation of Moriarty, I quite like. I like the anti-hero idea that they're going with here. And it's going to be curious to see how Sherlock fits in. I hope they don't force him in too early. Like, I almost wouldn't mind Sherlock not appearing until, like, episode 4 or 5. I don't think the show needs him that early. I feel like Sherlock is what you introduce if you want to start putting the overall plot of the show, now that I know it's going to be 24 episodes already. I feel like that's something you introduce later, once you kind of establish the way Moriarty works and his desires and how the family as a whole interacts with the world, and his then overall ambition to change the world. And then as soon as he starts to go on a larger scale with some of his stuff, then he'll start to draw the attention of Sherlock and what that ultimately means. So I'm anxious to see how this goes. Very good first episode, and I'm very excited to continue this one. There's no way we're dropping this one. We're going to be continuing this one for sure. So thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the episode as per usual. Leave a comments down below as well, what you thought of the episode, how you think of this interpretation of Moriarty. I'm very much into this, and it's going to have that almost like reverse detective side of things. And therefore, it's going to hit that same itch, I think, as what Millionaire Detective did and what It Invaded did. I think it's going to go in that similar sort of vein, and if that's the case, I'm going to love this. I really am. And knowing it's a split-core show means that there's going to be more of this in the future as well, so all good. Don't forget to subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the full 2020 lineup you can find on my channel. With loads of good shows this season, like a load of good shows. This is by far the busiest season I've had, and it's going to stay the busiest season I've had because there's just so many good shows every single day at the moment that I'm really, really into. So thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.